Sony just announced the A9 Mark III, and this camera has me so excited. I just had to share everything I had on my mind about it with you guys. And not only did it come up with a global shutter, but they go and give us 120 frames of raw image capture per second. They give us sync speeds at any shutter speed up to 1/80,000th of a second, and a host of other innovative features. And they've really taken that bar and moved it up several notches. Every time a new camera gets released, the next new thing comes out is an awesome feature. It's awesome that we can have that. It's awesome that a camera will have that capability. At this level, that level of camera, they've moved the bar so high that even Sony's got to top it. And that's going to be exciting to watch. So no matter what camera you're shooting, whether it's a Nikon, a Canon, Leica, whatever brand it is, you should be excited for this camera, because this camera is changing the way we take pictures. It's changing the physics behind what we can do as creators. And that is very, very exciting. And while the A9 Mark III may not be a camera I can afford, it brings to the table that new development. It brings to the table the new things we can look forward to no matter what brand camera you're shooting. All the way back from Betamax, 8mm, high 8, mini DV, to digital cameras. And then when they released the E-mount, back with the NEX line, and then the A6000 series, the development of their point and shoot cameras, everything they've done with their cameras is just innovative and cutting edge and leading the pack. And all the way up until their flagship full frame R series cameras, and now we have the A9s, we have the A1. There's so many innovative cameras. Every time they release a camera, it's overwhelming evolution. We're expecting the next leap. But I think what they pulled off today set the bar so high for everybody else. It's only going to benefit us as creators. It's only going to benefit us as consumers and what's coming next. And while I can't be excited about my new A9 Mark III because it's just not going to happen for me, I still enjoy my cameras and I enjoy the brand. I have it everywhere. I have my stereo equipment, I have my televisions, I have my cameras. And the brand, even though it's always innovating beyond my means, it'll soon become within my means. And the A9 Mark III is the first camera to be released in a long time to change the evolution of the cameras. Sony made the E-mount system with the NEX series. And they started something with these little lenses and little cameras. And it's grown into full frame beasts of cameras. It's turned into mirrorless cinema cameras. Everything in between. It's just astronomical what the brand has done. And I think that's the most exciting thing about Sony out of any other brand. The A9 Mark III, yes, it's an amazing camera. There's tons of spec videos out there, and yes, the 120 frames a second shooting, the 8 stops of image stabilization on the sensor. The fact that this camera can shoot with a global shutter has just changed the way we capture images. And not many cameras can do that and say, come along and say that it changed history. But the A9 Mark III just changed history today. It's going to be one of those cameras in 20, 30 years to look back on and go, that was a pinnacle moment in cameras. Just as the original A7 Mark I or the A7R series camera broke boundaries with resolution. The A9 Mark III has revolutionized cameras again. And it's going to be one of those cameras you're going to put on your shelf someday and be like, that's the camera that changed things. Back in 2023, it changed things. Just as they did with the little NEX line with those little E-mount lenses, they changed things. And then they came out and announced a full frame E-mount camera. It changed things. And they've got the A6000 series line. Absolutely game-changing in speed and performance. Down to the pocket point and shoots. They have cameras in their pocket and shoot lineup that'll blow you away with its capabilities. And all the way back from their humble beginnings, back in the days of having a tethered Betamax cam go to a video recorder, to having something as powerful as this FX30 is. They are always just bringing new things to the table. It doesn't matter when or where we are at in this lineup, we get to experience it. And that to me has me very excited about Sony and the brand of Sony. I truly enjoy and use their products. All the way from my stereo equipment to my televisions to the gaming, I use Sony products. The cameras, are just one part of that. And the brand Sony, for me, is going to be a lifelong thing. But the A9 Mark III puts a dot on the map of the timeline that will change history. Just as so many before it have, it's another stepping stone of one of those cameras to always keep an eye out for. So while I may not be able to sit here and be like, I've got my A9 Mark III on order, no, it'll be a long time before I can afford something like that. One day, that will be on my shelf and I'll be using it. And that's the way I look at cameras, is even though they're old and classic, they're the new modern, and they get blown away by the next thing, they're still worth having, and they're still worth owning, and they're still worth using. So the A9 Mark III will be one of those cameras that'll hold its place in the line of history, just as its predecessors all have. It'll be one of those great cameras that'll endure time. And when you go back and look at what's been done with imaging, that'll be one on the map, and it'll be a big one. You guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you later.